Trying to see if we're able. I don't think our webcam's right there. There's yours. Just wait until they start, okay? Okay.
Mom?
Hello.
No, Mom.
Yep.
Something weird happened.
Hi, Peyton.
Say hi.
Hi.
Don't mess anything up, okay?
I didn't.
Just leave it just like that. Don't touch any. This. Don't touch that, okay?
Warner?
What do you do back?
Warner.
No, you're not going to.
Yes,
How did you link in?
I used the Facebook link and went in from there.
Tell me to go to the Facebook link. Marjorie's having a problem getting it.
Oh,
Make sure she's got WebEx on her computer. It may be asking her to download it if she hadn't been in here before yet.
No, she was last week.
yeah, sometimes when you're invited to a meeting and you already have WebEx on your computer, sometimes they don't play well together. So I've just taken to, rather than trying to get to it from the app on my computer, as I just go into Facebook and get it.
Yeah, I think that's the best bet for everybody. All right. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good? All right, come to attention.
Good.
Back. Good. I need for Miss Cranford to mute her mic.
Do I go to the mute sign?
Everybody's mic should be muted. All right. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Unmute.
Did you do it on accident?
No, I want to unmute.
You want to mute it?
Yeah, everybody needs to be muted or they hear you talking. Okay. So, happy Tuesday. I've been staying updated with everything about the virus, and we've been watching the, what do they call them? The meetings that the governor of New York is having and the governor of North Carolina. And so the newest news, I'm sure all the kids know, they're not going to open schools until the fall. And so that really puts us in a very unusual position here where we're not going to know exactly what the recreation centers are going to do until probably the beginning of June. So we'll just have to wait and see. The messages that I'm getting from the directors are that it's still in a flux, which means that they're still deciding exactly what to do. But they're not going to let the kids who've been kept out of school immediately go to classes in May. So I'll just keep everybody updated on that, and we'll go from there on it. Okay, so tonight we're going to work a little bit on sidekicks to start off with. So I'm going to ask everybody to get on the floor to start off with. So I'm landing. Everybody can see me. More. All right, so I want you to get like this, land on the floor, take your bottom leg like this. Let's go. All right, so we're going to work on a sidekick. So the best way to work on this is from this position to start off with. So we're going to lift our knee up and then extend this way. So again, go back to here and extend. All right, so if I'm laying where I'm not turned, where my hip's not turned, I can still straighten out my leg. Watch this. But that straightening out is mostly my knee. I'm extending my leg with my knee. When I turn, that puts my hip into it, and I'm pushing backwards from there. So the definition between a back kick and a side kick is very close. Because there's some ambiguity about that definition, some styles of karate kick with their knee, like that. That's not a very powerful kick, and it won't stop an opponent from coming forward. So the way we do our kick, of course, we do it from a step behind position. Let's everybody get on the floor if you're not already there. I see some of you still standing up. Let's work some extensions from here. I have my other hand, and I'm going to put it on the floor to support it so that I don't turn my body this way and that. So again, we're going to bend our knee and extend. Bend your knee back in and extend. So you want to feel this motion start from your hip. You're pushing your hip and go into extension. And on extension, everybody's foot position should be like this. Foot back as far as you can, and your toes curl back. You're hitting with your feet.
Very pretty.
Right? You can work on the extension and the foot position. Somebody's mic is still on. Everybody check your mic and make sure your microphone's shut off. All right, let's do some repetitions of that. Kelly's going to get on the floor. You can see her. All right, so extension, 1. Really feel like you're pushing from your hip. 2, pull it back in. 1, extend all the way out through your heel. Try to feel the connection between your hip and your heel. Again, bend it back in. All right, slowly push it out through your heel. All right, in this case, Kelly needs to pull her foot back this way a little bit. Pull her toes back. Again, bend it in. Extend. Again, bend it in. Make sure that motion is coming from your hip, not your knee. Push all the way through it until your leg is straight. Then pull it back in. Push. Good extension. Make sure your toes are pulled back. Pull it in. Now that motion is a natural motion, but it feels different when you're trying to do it. Again, in class, I emphasize that this is the same thing as if I stomp the floor with my heel like that. That's what you're doing, except you're turning your body and extending sideways. Okay, again, knee in, push from your hip, extend. Let's do a couple more. In, extend, in, extend. All right, very good. Turn over. You're facing the other way. Let's try it on this side now. Okay, ready? Extend through your hip. There's a good foot position. See how Kelly adjusted her foot position. You can see your camera at the same time. Bend it in. Push from your hip. Extend. In. Extend. In. Extend. In. Extend. One more time. In. And extend. Good job. All right. I happen to have a post right here, so I'm going to use this post and extend towards the. It's actually all the black belts have signed where you see the logo. That's a group signature of all my black belts. So this time I'm going to lift my knee up so that my knee and heel are parallel to the floor. Put my foot dragging like that. I don't want to lift my knee up and leave my foot down. I'm going to turn my hip so that my knee and heel are the same height. Then I'm going to extend out. So my post didn't work the way I thought it would. Let me move a little bit. And again, here, lift, extend. Pull it in, set it down. Now, since everybody doesn't have this post, if you could get a chair, that would be the best thing. So everybody get a chair and we'll work on it from a chair. Okay. All right, let's watch me first. So I'm going to set the chair, grab the back of it. Again, when I'm standing this way flush to you, but I'm going to kick that way. So as soon as I lift my knee up, I'm going to turn my body and turn my hip. I'm not really turning my shoulders as much as my hip. My shoulders turn a little bit, but I'm turning my hip. Then lift up so that you're parallel to the floor and extend. Pull it in, set it down. All right. I'm going to move this back a little bit for Kelly. She's got long legs. All right, let's try it. Everybody lift. Extend. Pull it in. Set it down. 1, lift it up. 2, straighten it out. 3, pull it in. 4, set it down. Good work. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the kick won't do you any good if you're not looking at it. So one of the things that you want to do as you're practicing the extension is try to keep your eyes down the line of the kick so that you're keeping your head up and you're watching. Let's try again. 1, 2, extend, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Be very careful on your practice, especially when you're using something to support you, that you try to get your heel and knee parallel to the floor. If your foot is below your knee, as you extend, you flip your leg up. That's not a very powerful kick, and you can hurt your knee doing that. So we want to make this kick as much a natural movement as we can. Remember, if I'm standing this way, the kick, the motion of the kick is like stomping the floor with my heel. Not out in front of me, but right in line with my other foot. So same thing again, 1, lift, 2, extend, 3, in, 4, down. 1. Now, Kelly's had some knee surgery and stuff from dancing, so she has a hard time really tightening up this chamber. But I want you to try to make that as tight as you can, because the tighter you make that chamber, the stronger the kick is. Ready? Extend, 2, 3, pull it in, 4, down. 1, 2, 3, down. Sorry about this. Somebody's asking to get in. I don't know why I had to admit somebody. We didn't have to do that before. There he is. Hello, Matthew. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it a couple more times and we'll switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. Kelly's going to switch her chair over to the other side. Put on the other leg. So again, the chamber is really, really important. And when you're holding on to something, you can make that chamber the best you can. When you're kicking in class, sometimes it's not quite that strict. But if you practice being that strict, you're going to get close to it. Okay. Ready? 1, lift up. Try to tighten this up as much as you can. 2, extend. Make sure your foot position's right. Your toes are pulled back so that you're making contact with your heel. 3, pull it in. 4, down. Good job, Kelly. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to move in here for a second. So I'm using my post again. See how tight I'm making this chamber. Okay, try to lift this up as much as you can. When you step behind, you actually pass that leg. So then when you lift up, you're lifting up into that position. Okay, again, 1, 2, extend, 3, in, 4, down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. 2 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good work. Sorry again. Mr. Perkins is trying to get in. Evening, Mr. Perkins.
Evening.
Okay, so Sorry about that. I don't know why it did the admit thing. All right, so we were working on the sidekick from that position. We're standing this way. So let's practice the spin. You can use your chair for support. So what we're going to do is spin and take this hand and put it on the chair, and then do the same lift. And then extend from there. All right, let's try that. So first thing, spin, look at your target, lift, extend. Good job. Pull it in, set it up. See if you can pull it. Let's try it again. So we're going to spin, grab the chair with the other hand, lift. That's 1, 2, extend, 3 in, 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Guess I changed the count there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. All right, turn the chair around. Do it from this side. So same thing, spin on 1, 1, 2, lift, 3, 4. Good work. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good bail out there, Kelly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good job. Couple more times. 2, 3, 4. Kelly just did something that is really, really a good thing. So, and on her spin, she bent her knees a little bit to get a little lower. When you get lower like that, you have more leverage for the kick. So I didn't instruct her to do that. She did it because it felt right. She felt stronger. So that's really important too. You got to stay low. That's why we work on our stances. All right, a few more times on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right. We're going to take a break for a second. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to do a little history lesson here real quick. So you may have noticed, and if you didn't, I want you to notice, on the Facebook page, there's actually 3 pages. There's a Greensboro Karate Institute Taekwondo page that's heading is my Taekwondo instructor, Mr. Kwan, and me. And then there's a Greensboro Karate Institute Karate-do page. And then the group page. All right, so that's what I'm going to go over a little bit tonight, is a little bit of history of the karate portion of our class. Somebody still has their microphone on. Somebody, if your microphone's on when I'm talking, it's interfering with the me talking. So the people are hearing like a muffled thing, and it's still there because I can still hear somebody moving around. So you need to check your mics. All right. So there's the ability that I have here on WebEx to access my files, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to risk messing up the video. Peyton, what you got? Okay. All right. So our karate is based on Isshin-ryu Karate. So this is the symbol of Isshin-ryu. Let me get it where you can see it. Okay, that was designed by the founder of Isshin-ryu Karate. His name is Tatsu Shimabuku. This is Tatsu Shimabuku in Japan. All right. Now, Tatsu studied Goju Karate. I showed you a picture the other day of Sensei Yamaguchi, who is the founder of Goju Karate. So Shimabuku had studied Goju and Shorin, which is one of the other karate systems. They called his system an eclectic system, and they recognized him as a founder of a new system. So he called the system Isshin-ryu. Isshin-ryu means system of change. All right, so here's another picture of Tatsu. That was when he was a little bit younger. So his karate became very, very popular in Okinawa. And especially after the Second World War, some people from the American Armed Forces started practicing with him. Harold Long, Don Nagel, and Harry Ackley were some of those people. So here's a picture of Tatsu and Don Nagel. Tatsu had came to the United States, and he visited Don Nagel's dojo. And here's another picture of him. So some of the students that practiced with him in Okinawa, I mentioned, was this is not a great picture, it's awful small, but that's Ungi Uezu. And one of his training partners that trained with him was from Cleveland, Ohio. His name is Harry Acklin. This is Harry Acklin. Harry Acklin was a police officer, and he maintained a karate dojo in Cleveland for some time. At this time, judo was more popular than karate. So actually that dojo was called the Ohio Judo and Karate Club. Okay? This is another picture of Ungi Uezu. So Harry Acklin invited Ungi Uezu to come to Cleveland to practice. At that very same time, there was an up-and-coming brown belt. His name was Jansen Wellendorf. This is Jansen Wellendorf. And what happened was, eventually Jansen was promoted to black belt. One of the judo guys that helped run the judo school, and Mr. Wellendorf went into business. They decided to open karate schools, but they decided not to stay in Cleveland. So they went to where Dale Brooks, the judo guy, was from, North Carolina. So they moved to North Carolina and opened a number of schools in North Carolina. The main school was in Raleigh. After I had my black belt in Taekwondo and I moved to North Carolina, I started practicing with Mr. Wellendorf in Raleigh. And so our system is a combination of that. And what I just went over is sort of the history and lineage of that period of time. And so like Tatsu Shimabuku, our system is sort of eclectic. Eclectic means more modern. So we combine the strong points from Isshin-ryu Karate and the strong points from Taekwondo. So I'm going to end this history lesson, but you already know some of this. Chun Ji is a Taekwondo form. Wan Su is an Ishin-Ryu form. Bao Rang is a Taekwondo form. Puan, the form that we've been working on, is a Taekwondo form. So part of the diversity, the mixture of our classes, is because of the different forms that we practice, because each form has a different lesson that it's trying to teach us. Okay, since you had your break, let's work on some self-defense for a few minutes. So I'm going to use Kelly. Let's see, I'm going to get Kelly on this side. So when an attacker attacks, we can block, and we have 4 weapons to hit with. In this case, my left hand, my right hand, my left leg, and my right leg. So our self-defense techniques are based on which of those techniques that you're going in with first. So Kelly's going to do a normal punch. Weird there, can't see my head. Maybe that won't work, sorry. All right, so Kelly's going to punch with her right hand, and I'm going to upper block it. So my lead technique, what I'm going to go in with first, is a defensive front kick. So I'm going to just do a defensive front kick. Now I want to hit her with something else. So I have 4 choices again. My left hand, my right hand, my left leg, or my right leg. All right? So let's start with our hands. So Kelly's going to punch in. So I'm going to block, defensive front kick, and in this case, I'm going to strike with knife hand strike, palm down. So when I kick, and then I'm going to put my foot down. As I put my foot down is when I'm going to do the knife hand strike, palm down. In other words, I don't want to separate the two. I don't want to go kick, stop, then strike. I want the kick to be part of the force of the strike. Remember, we were working on how to generate power. In this case, it's moving forward. So I'm blocking, defensive front kick, and then I'm moving forward into knife hand strike, palm down. One more time. Block, kick, knife hand strike, palm down. All right, so let's do 2 of these so that we're not stopping so much. So this time, I'm going to block again and kick, and now I'm going to strike with my right hand. So a punch, good technique, but it's not the only one. I could do a vertical back fist. I could do knife hand strike, palm up. I could do another knife hand strike, palm down that way. But that's a little odd because I have to turn my body this way in order to do that strike. So that doesn't flow real good. So the other ones did. So a defensive front kick into a punch, or a defensive front kick into knife hand strike, palm up, or a defensive front kick into a vertical back. Those would all work. What we're going to do, for the sake of picking one, is we're going to do a defensive front kick punch. All right. So Kelly's going to do some repetitions of those. Everybody follow her. Okay, so she's going to block, defensive front kick, knife hand strike, palm down. Let's try that again. So in this case, these are all left-sided moves. So she's blocking with her left hand, defensive front kicking with her left leg, and then knife hand strike, palm down with her left hand. All right, I think everybody should have it. Let's talk you through it one more time. Block, defensive front kick, knife hand strike, palm down. All right, let's do some repetitions. I'm going to count. Let's do 5 of them, and then we'll do something a little different. Okay, ready? 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Okay, now what I want you to do, something different, is I want you to finish with a different left hand technique. So instead of doing knife hand strike palm down, use your imagination and use another technique. I still have somebody's microphone on because I can hear you moving. All right. So on your own count, do a few of them and end with a different left hand technique. Go. On your own. Okay. Now let's do the other one. So we did a block, defensive front kick with your left leg, and then reverse punch. Punch him with your right. Okay. Matthew, are you ready? Block. Defensive front kick. Right hand punch. Ready. 1. 2. 3. 4. All right, now do the same thing you did on the other one. Change that right hand technique. So instead of doing a punch, try one of the other techniques. Ready? On your own count. Go. You see people standing still. You should be doing them. Good enough. See if we can figure out whose microphone is on. David Hankins, turn your mic off. It might be on the very bottom of the screen. And it'll be like a pop-up menu comes up. Hello, Marjorie. Okay. All right, let's go on. Okay, so we started with a defensive front kick, so we're going to keep that up. We finished up with our left hand. We did knife hand strike palm down. We finished with our right hand. We did a punch. We still have 2 weapons left, our left leg and our right leg. So this time, we're going to block, defensive front kick, and then I'm going to take my front leg and crescent kick. So I'm going to block, defensive front kick, and I'm touching the floor. I'm touching the floor with the ball of my foot, and then with that leg, crescent kicking. Block, defensive front kick, touch the floor. Then crescent. So I have a partner because I have Kelly here. And so one of the things I'm doing is making sure that I'm not hacking her arm. So I'm blocking, kicking, and then I'm pushing her arm down so it's out of my way in case I don't do a real good kick. Then I'm going to take that leg and press it. Okay? All right, so let's do the other leg now before we start doing repetition. So we have a variety of different kicks. In this position, it would be really hard to side kick. So we're going to eliminate a side kick. That's not a good idea. If I knocked her back enough, I could do a turning side kick. But that's hard to demonstrate in class or on testing because you can't hit each other like that. All right, so we're going to hook, lock, defensive front kick, and then the other leg, round kick. I asked Kelly to back up. And the reason I did that is because I knew I needed a little more room to do that kick. So if I was testing, doing self-defense, I'd have a partner that I was doing this with, and I would let my partner know when I needed a little more room for the kick. Obviously, we're going to be closer if we're hitting knife hand strike palm down. So we need a little more room, and you adjust that. So block, defensive front kick, then the back leg, round kick. That was pretty quick. Did you see that kick? Huh?
Did you see that punch?
Yeah, I saw it. Hi-ya! Huh? Here, defensive front kick, back leg, round kick. Okay. Now we're ready to practice. All right, so what did we do? We did upper block, defensive front kick, touch the floor, same leg, press it. Good work. Block, defensive front kick, press it. Block, defensive front kick, press it. Block, defensive front kick, press it. All right. Now, just like before, let's do some on your own count and change up that last kick. So you could do, let me suggest, knees are also kicks. They're just kicks that you're too close to extend your leg all the way out. So on both of these, knees are another option. You can, well, you can do that too. All right, so on your own, try to mix up that final kick. Go. There you go. All right, now let's switch to finishing up with your right leg. Block, defensive front kick, back leg round kick. Block, defensive front kick, back leg round kick. I didn't stop Kelly, but on the previous one, you could do a defensive front kick and then with the same leg an advancing round kick. All right, let's keep going. Block, defensive front kick, back leg round kick. Block, defensive front kick, back leg round kick. One more time. Block, defensive front kick, back leg round kick. Okay, so use your imagination. If you were going to do a knee off of that technique, you might block to your defensive front kick and add this strike. Knife hand strike, come up. Because that strike is going to be on the side of their neck. You grab their neck, and then you can knee with your back knee. All right. Do some on your own. Try to mix up that last kick. Go. Very good. All right. Everybody stop there. So on these self-defense techniques, one of the reasons we're going over all these different options is because of the way we test. So the gold belts to blue belt, that's no problem because you only have to do 4 techniques. But when you go to green belt, you have to do 12. And then when you test for purple belt and above, you have to do 2 minutes. So in order to have enough techniques so that you're not repeating yourself over and over again, you have to use your imagination and change some of these techniques up. That's why I'm giving you the different options. Ethme, did you watch the Disney show last night? Or Sunday night it was. Ethme, nod your head. Did you see the Disney show Sunday night? Oh, too bad. See if your mom can find it on the internet for you since you got your Disney ears on. Okay, so we only have a few more minutes in class. So what I want to do is the same thing that we did last time. We want some people to volunteer to get up and do their kata. So Madeline has her hand up. So we're going to let Madeline get up and do her kata. Let me get a chance to pin you, Madeline. Okay, we're ready. Very good, Madeline. That is excellent. Good job.
Good girl.
All righty. Let's see who else we can pick on.
Wow.
Angie. There you go. You're ready. Very good, Angie. All right. Thank you much for that, too. So Angie just did Naihanchi from Ishinryu Karate. So you notice it's a straight line form just like Puan. Most of the martial arts systems have those straight line forms. Ishinryu has one, Naihanchi, that Angie practiced. Taekwondo has Puan, and some of the systems like Shotokan do a Naihanchi Ich, Naihanchi Ni, and Naihanchi San. That's 1, 2, and 3. So they're variations of Naihanchi. Later on, during our at-home practice, we're going to learn Naihanchi Nida. Okay, that's the next straight line form that we're going to do. All right, David, you're on. Oh, we lost David, I guess. Oh, I got Angie back up. Hold on, let's find somebody else to pick on. Ethme, how about you? I know, you need more room. Go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I do one too?
Sure, go ahead. Everybody's waiting because I'm trying to give other people a chance. Good work. All right, so Ethme got a little nervous, but she did me a favor too because she started to do Fa Rang, which is a Taekwondo form, and then she did Wan Su, which is an Ishinru karate form. So it's again the things that I was talking about earlier when I was going over that history. All right, I got to get to you, Sanjay. Oh, sorry, Zoe. There you are. All right, Sanjay, you're on. Very good. All right, so that's Tosan. That's the form that we worked on at the very beginning when we were doing at-home practice. That's a Taekwondo form, and Mr. Frederick's here tonight, and he knows that form too, and he let me know that he does it a little bit different. That's like when I'm teaching school and we play telephone. By the time it gets around the room, it's completely different. So over the years, not me, but over the years, instructors varied those forms a little bit. And when you see different styles do them, or different, in this case, styles of Taekwondo do them, they're slightly different. Sanjay's pointing at Reina. Reina, you want to do a kata? She's hiding. Go ahead. Well done. All right, that's of course attack form 4. That's an eclectic form, and it's hard to do in close quarters. So it's really hard to do in your living room or whatever. All right, Let me see if I can get Madison. Madison, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, I got to get down to you. Oh, no, there you are. Go ahead. Matthew, get your head off your hands because you're next. Go ahead, start again. There you go. Good enough, Madison. Good job. All right. Let's get Matthew up here. Don't start yet, Matthew, because I got to get you on the full screen. There you are. All right, you're on. Well, that was an interruption on a kata. Okay, Matt. Matt, that was a good attempt. That wasn't your fault.
Good.
Good job.
Good job.
Zoe, you want to get up and do one?
Where's Mazozi? There you are.
Nod your head, yes or no? No? Okay. I'm glad to see you in class, Zoe, so I'm not going to put you on the spot. All right. Craig, how about you? Thank you, Craig. So, those of you that haven't been to class here recently, Craig is an instructor. He practiced with me when he was a kid, and he lives in Cleveland and teaches karate in Cleveland. Thanks for that, Craig, because that's an unusual form. That form was Sanjitato. He must have a good memory because we must have worked on that years ago. But that's from a Kempo system. And it's probably traced to Hungar Kung Fu. We were at a camp out, and a guest instructor taught us that form. And so it's a Chinese Kempo form is the way that he described it. But it's probably from the system in China that's called Hungar. All right. Did I get all the underbelts? Peyton. Peyton's still in class. I don't think so. Oh, yeah.
And did you want Ishwa?
Peyton, you want to do Chun-Ji for us? Okay? Very good, Peyton. Good job.
Good job, Peyton.
Good work. All right. Ishwa wasn't volunteering, Warner, so I didn't get her up there, but if she wants to do it, we will do that. I got to get you off that screen. Ishwa, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, go right ahead.
You've been in a space up.
Very good.
Coming back strong, girly.
Good work. All right. If you noticed, Ishwa did a really good job. Angie as well, and Mr. Frederick as well. They all bowed in when they did the form. And Raina's let me know that she did too. All right. Some of you did not, and you want to make sure that you practice bowing in and out of the kata because, for example, in competition, you wouldn't want to forget to bow in or bow out. And so you want to make a habit of doing the techniques a certain way. And on that note, I think I got all the underbelts. On that note, karate is really simple. What karate is making a habit of doing things. Let me get me on the screen here first. All right, so there's nothing difficult about karate. One of the things I like to emphasize when I'm teaching class like this is that everything that we do is a natural movement. Like we were working on the sidekicks earlier, we're not contorting or twisting our body to do some kind of move that's outside of human motion. What we do are moves that have been designed to generate force for self-defense, but they're all natural movements. If a movement's not a natural movement, then it's not a good movement to practice thousands of times because then you'll end up hurting yourself. So over the years, I've seen instructor students, one girl in particular that was from here but trained in Covington, Kentucky. And every time she came back home, she had a different knee brace, more substantial, more dynamic knee brace because she was tearing up her legs because she was actually doing kicks that were not natural movements. So I really, really pride myself on studying our techniques and making sure that I'm asking the students to do techniques that are natural movements and not something where they're going to hurt themselves over a period of time. So I had all the underbelts do their katas. I did not have the black belts. We ran out of time again. I'm going to watch it a little bit closer next time, and we'll make sure that the black belts get to do some of their forms as well. So, like I said at the very beginning of the class, I'm watching the governors in New York and North Carolina especially go over their daily briefing because it gives us a lot of insight into what's happening. The governors know from the scientists how serious this is and how serious a step it is to open up the public to do their normal activities. So when you listen to their briefings, you get insights into that. Governor Cooper didn't hesitate at all and said that we need to not go back to school this school year. Well, the reason for that is because the virus is still out there and if we put people into groups where they're all sitting real close together, like in the cafeteria, even in classrooms, lining up to go to the bathroom, going out to recess, there's a danger that the virus will expand and more people will get sick. So by listening to their briefings, you can get an idea of how serious that the governors are being told this is. And so the governors are telling us to be patient. And as karate students, we have to do the same. So the schools are going to be closed. I doubt they're going to open up the recreation centers at the beginning of June, as soon as May is over. I don't think they're going to turn around and open up the recreation centers as a test product to see what happens when they start letting kids do activities together. Not just karate, but basketball and everything. So we have to be patient and we have to listen to what they're trying to tell us, try to follow their advice. I happen to be 65 this year, so I'm in the risk category, so I can tell you that I'm being very careful about this because I do not want to get sick and be in the hospital for sure. So everybody needs to stay karate strong, practice. You guys are doing a good job. Remember, the idea of karate in the long run is to make habits out of everything you're doing. To make habits out of what you're doing, you have to do it over and over again. So the magic number in the martial arts has always been 1,000. And that comes from the founder of judo, Jigoro Kano, who said that a judo move just was not practical and it wouldn't work unless you've done it 1,000 times. I'm not going to get long-winded and tell you his whole speech, but that's where that 1,000 number comes from. And martial artists all over the world have adopted that 1,000 repetition as their baseline of practice. Obviously, you can't do 1,000 katas in one day. So you have to have a plan. So the plan is do them once a day for 3 years, that's 1,000. And so everybody has the opportunity to do some practice because you're not in school, you're not working, most of you, and so you have the opportunity and time to practice some of your katas. Take a few minutes every day and do it. Stay karate strong. Hello, Matthew's dad. How you doing? All right, everybody. There's a class Thursday. Marjorie had a hard time getting in tonight. And so I think what Mr. Phelps said, he doesn't even bother trying to go to the WebEx app to get in. What he does is he goes and clicks the link that I gave you in Facebook. All right? And so that's a permanent link to this class. So that'll be up there. And even if there's not a new post, click on the post for today, because that web address that takes you to the meeting doesn't change. So it would be the same link to today's class, or Thursday's class, in other words. Okay, I was going to have Deirdre from California, one of our black belts, was at class in the beginning, but she must have been pulled away because I don't see her here. I was going to have her do a kata. Next time she comes, I'm going to put her on the spot. And Mr. Perkins is here, but his video's not on. Mr. Perkins has classes, and he's posting them. He's doing some basic classes that would be great for Peyton and Madeline and Madison. He's doing basic fundamental classes. Mr. Perkins teaches Karate-do, so he does some of it in Japanese, but the techniques are the same. And so if you look for those links, he's posting them, and they're posted on my Greensboro group site, and I'll make sure that I copy that link if not, so that you can go to that class. So today's Tuesday. Usually he has a class on Wednesday. So look on the Greensboro Karate Institute. He posted me a message. It's 6 o'clock tomorrow. And it's on the Mid-Atlantic Karate site. And Mr. Perkins, I know you can hear me because you made that comment. How about making sure you post it on the Greensboro Karate Institute group site? So he heard that, and he'll make sure that it's posted on there. I really recommend the beginners, but everybody should go to the class. He runs 20, 30-minute classes, and he's going over fundamentals, and it'll be a good exercise and an opportunity to see how somebody else teaches, which is a good thing. And then our instructors, Marjorie Streck and Lenny Kaplan, have already posted classes that I put on the Greensboro Karate Institute Karate-do page. It's under videos. And Mr. Hankins and Miss Moore, Angie Moore, and Miss Kelly Melinda are also all working on little classes that we're going to post there. They're not going to be live classes, but they're instructional classes where they're going over things. Like Miss Streck went over stances, cat stances and back stances, and gave you some exercises. Mr. Kaplan went over front kicks and foot positions and some exercises to get good foot position. So that's something that everybody should look at, but especially the beginners. All right, we're done for the evening. Everybody come to attention. I didn't see it. Craig just sent me a message. Let me see if I can see what it is before I end class. Oh. Craig is saying that the stance class was great. He was commenting on the stance class. So
Yeah, they had really good pointers there. Stuff that I didn't think about before. So it was very helpful.
all right, and Craig's a black belt, and he's still learning something from watching that class. So again, Peyton and Madeline and Madison and everybody else should try to look at those classes and see what you can get from it. Okay, let's come to attention. Back up so I can see myself. Why do we follow the rules?
Because it's the right thing to do.
Respect. Who's number one?
I
Have a good evening.
Bye.
Will do.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I will now.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Thanks for coming, Zoe.
Bye, everybody. Mommy, can I grab the meeting?
Yeah.
Warner, stay for a minute.
I am. I want to talk to you anyway.
I have to do this, but.
Madeline, you're still on. There we go. So how was the video? Better tonight?
Yeah, it was much better. The only person that seemed to be having trouble was David. And during the class, I sent him that speed test that Edward had given us. And David ran it, and he's getting well under a third of what I'm getting. So David's problem is his internet download speed. He's going to have to talk to his ISP. There's something wrong there.
Okay.
But I think we might use that. Anybody that's having trouble, we might definitely use that internet speed test and see if we can, if that helps us understand what the problem is.
It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything to adjust the speed, though, right? I mean, there's no extensions or anything on it.
No, it just tells you what the speed is, and if you're getting 5, then you're going to take that, you're going to call or email your internet provider and say, I'm getting 5, I'm paying for probably 30 or 40 or 50, get somebody out here to fix it.
Right.